Alright, welcome back to another episode of the home workout with you, me, and her. Today's session has 3 movements in the general warm-up. I know you guys are ready. Let's have a look at movement number 1. The slow air squat. That means you're not moving fast. I am slow. That's what's happening. Now, if you have an injury not allowing you to squat this deep, you go less deep. But you're still trying to challenge range of motion and going as extremely slow as you possibly can. Why slow, guys? Because we need you to feel every centimeter of the movement. Movement number 2, oblique crunches. Nice little belly work here. We're gonna go on the back, feet are gonna be on the floor, bend. We're gonna have our elbow going to the side. We stay on one side for the amount of repetitions prescribed. I think that's 8. And then we move to the other side for the other repetitions. You try to keep your shoulder blades off the floor first, and then you make that twisting movement to the other leg. Very nicely done, oblique crunch. Now the third movement is going to be starting on the elbows. Now from the elbow plank, we're going to press ourselves up, and we're going to come back down. Now the order of which arm to move is all up to you, as long as when we do 10 reps, you make sure you hit both directions for half of the repetitions, and keep your shoulders pressed towards the ceiling. Okay, 6 minutes of a quality AMRAP, starting off with 8 repetitions of the slow air squat. You can start already. Then 8 repetitions of oblique crunch to the left, oblique crunch to the right, 10 repetitions of the press-ups in plank. I didn't press the timer yet, so she's very confused. I press it now, and then she can start in 10 seconds. Yes, that was very confusing. I know you guys at home are just as confused as we are, but always remember, I am Groot. Here we go. Yeah. But if you think that was fast, that was very slow. So Sana is sitting straight down on top of the heels. She's not trying to reach for the wall backwards. We call that a hinge. She's trying to make her knees bend. And sitting nice and straight down. Upper body as upright as possible. Knee tracking the toe. Big toe, little toe, heel. All pressed into the floor. Belly tight. That was 8 reps. And guess what she's going to do? She's going to go on her back. Feet in the floor, and she's going to start making that little rotation to the side. Staying on one side, crunch up, rotate. She's going very deliberately going through these repetitions here by first crunching up, then rotating to the side. It's a nice way of getting to these oblique crunches here. I know this might look like a new movement to you, but you can do a whole tons of stuff with the abs, and we're trying to hit the abs all properly here. First, we hit the straight abdominal muscle, then we move to the obliques. After 8 reps on one side, she's going to go to the other side for the second set of 8. And then after and upon completion of that set, she's going to move over to a plank, start doing the press-ups from elbow to shoulder, which is a tough movement to do, but a good warm-up for triceps, shoulders, and still working that core. Oof. Yeah, you guys saw that? That was the oof. Starting on the elbow. Good. And this might take a while, which is all good, right? Don't rush through these. So, this is a longer round that we're doing here. You guys get to aim for quality. Get your core properly fired up. Get your legs warmed up. Then we'll meet you back for part number 2 in just a second. Alright, so part number 2 of today is not mobility. It's not another shoulder pump. It is ab work. Now we're going to do this. We're going to start off with a 30-second hollow body. Immediately going into as many repetitions as possible of what this is. This is the ab bicycle movement, right? With the legs doing that bicycle movement, the elbows twisting, rotating to the opposite knee. Perfect movement there. Obliques fired, abs fired. Shaboom. 1 minute of rest in between. Get as many reps done as we possibly can. Sana is here to go through this with you guys. There's no showing off. There's just you and us doing this together. All 6 of you. Let's go. Start in 10 seconds. Yeah, we got 2 more people watching this video. That's nice. Yeah. Because of yesterday was so good. Yeah, of course. Alright, so 30-second hollow. Now what I'm going to make her do to show it to you is if this is too hard for you, we can always bring in a leg and another leg and then 2 arms. And then you end up in this. So whatever is there or in between, as long as that lower back's in the floor, shoulder blades are off the floor, you can keep that hollow going. 30 seconds might not look like a long time, but when done properly, it is a long time. But you know how long? 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Ab bicycles. Here we go. Oh yeah. Oh, back to boot camp, baby. We got 30 seconds of just doing this. And if you do this for speed, it'll become a very ugly movement. So just go for quality. Keep the motion going. Make sure you twist and rotate from the spine as much as possible to get your obliques to fire. That is just perfect. We're going to make this run for 8 more seconds. And then we have a minute of rest in between this interval and the next 2, 1. That was 1 round. 2 more for you. Meet you back after that. Bye. Hi guys, part number 3 of the day is the workout. Now we already did a lot of ab work here. Now it's time to grab your bag, load it up because we're going to get some weightlifting going and we're going to hit those triceps in there as well. Finishing off with a very long overhead hold after the actual workout piece. Now let's go through the 3 movements first and then we add the 4th one. The clean and jerk with the bag is our first movement. So we have our feet, hip width stance, bag is approximately at the floor, we clean, we jerk. Here you go. Now, I'm going to be very honest with you. I need to see a bag moving from approximately the floor to the shoulder to overhead. It doesn't have to be a power clean and push jerk. It can also be like a muscle clean variation and a press. Whatever floats your boat, whatever weight your bag is going to tell you what to do. Now, before going through injury options here, I'll tell you this. If you cannot go overhead, you do double the amount of clean, so 20 reps. If you cannot clean, you do double the amount of reps overhead, which is 20. Easy injury options for you guys. Second movement. Back front squat. Here we go. We load up the front of the body, we squat down, we stand up. Nice little front squat action, sitting upright, knees tracking the toes, butt going on the heels, big toe, little toe, heel, all pressed into the floor. If this hurts because of knee injuries, you're going to good morning your way through this with the back still in the same spot. And what you saw Sana doing, she was changing her foot position. She went from a squatting stance to her pulling stance, which is feet right underneath the hips, toes suddenly going straight, slight knee bend here, sitting the hips back, finding the hammy, squeezing the butt on the way up. Third movement. You grab something you can press onto, a couch, an extra object that you have at home. You place your hands in there, you place your feet away. You're going to go through dips. Sit down, stay as close to the object as possible, keep the elbows pointing straight back. Now this is the hard one with straight legs. You can also bend the legs, place them down. This means there's some lag assistance here. Let a range of motion decide what is good for you based on if it hurts on the shoulder, D yes or D no. If you cannot do this at all because it hurts, you grab the bag and you do a rowing variation, which is the bag over bend row, or the bend over back row. Back bend over row. Row the back over when you bend. There we go, that's nice. Substitute each dip for each row. Fourth movement, which actually comes after the workout, is an accumulation of an overhead hold. So what do? You hold overhead. If you cannot do the overhead hold, you go and do a loaded squat hold. So you take the bag on the front and you do a loaded squat hold for just as long, 5 minutes. Okay, so 10 minutes of an AMRAP, doing 10 clean and jerks with the bag, 10 front squats, and then 10 dips. You do that for 10 minutes straight, as many rounds of reps as you possibly can. Then upon completion of the 10th minute, you hear the beep, done. Then immediately you try to do a 5-minute overhead hold with that same bag. If you break up after, like, let's say a minute, and you rest for another minute, you still have to do all 4 minutes because it's an accumulation of 5 minutes of work. Let's get started. Look at my face. Look at that fake smile. Let's get started. Can you do a fake smile? Let's get started. So good. Okay, 10 seconds. So good. 3, 2, 1, action. Boom, look at that. And this is where the Olympic weightlifter in you can suddenly start doing the work. There we go. Nice. If you cannot do any form of lifting, like you cannot train here yet, then this is a very easy way of still having an external object, moving it through space, using the entire body to do so. Clean and jerks. There you go. After 10 reps, you go to that hugging front rack kind of thing, and you squat your way down. You give yourself a good 10 reps of the squat here. That is good work. Sitting the hips straight down. Don't think about pushing back too much. Initiate from the hip, bend the knee at the same time. Reach to your heels. That was 10 good squats. She's going to now find an object and go through that set of 10 dips. Yes, she is. 10 dips here. That's good. That dipping action is solid. Elbows pointing away from the body. That's what we need to see happen. Hips going straight down, not in front of her. Giving her a good shoulder stretch, good tricep action. Now that was one round. That took a little over a minute, so let's aim for like 8 rounds in this little workout. We'll meet you guys back when the time's done, and then we'll add that accumulation of 5 minutes overhead hold. Shaboom. Okay, so we finished that 10-minute time frame. We're already in the 5-minute accumulation of the overhead hold. Sanna's gonna aim to do this kind of unbroken. She's already 24 seconds in. This is what we're looking for with the overhead hold. We got ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, elbows, wrists, all stacked on top of each other. Belly is tight, the butt is kind of tight. And what you don't want to do is arch the lower back. So keep everything, that's a very bad arch. Keep everything nice and in line. Keep that thing overhead. And let's see if we can make it through the entire 5 minutes. Good luck, and we're out.